Sayadaw says, yesterday one of the yogis asked the question and Sayadaw tried to give reply. Sayadaw couldn't elaborate yesterday because of time limitation. So she would like to continue the same topic today. He says he would like to try to elaborate in detail as much as possible to give the proper answer to the question of the yogi. Although it is not easy to give the answer within short period, it needs enough time to give proper answer. He says to have proper answer to that question, he should have to explain about the dependent origination in elaborated way, but there is no enough time to do that. So therefore today he would like to try to explain the question in brief as well as to have sufficient meaning in it. So he would like to explain about the 3 rounds, how they connected each other and how it could be disconnected. Therefore, all the yogis need to give their all ears to the Sayadaw. They need to offer their ears to the Sayadaw today.
What does the challenge you theory do on it to set up your
There are 3 rounds in the Dhamma. Rounds means here those cause and effect processes which constantly circling, depending each other as the cause and effect process. So therefore it is called round.
Buddha Tomi Saraga, Isa water, Nikama water, two, Yukoga water, Tomi Shivare. I don't know they Pita water, Uja, Ubadana. You don't know Isa water, Very good, Junkie, Council, New Family Figure, you look at family. အဲဒီသမဝတ္တလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်အဲဒီကံမျိုးမျိုးကြောင့်နောက်ဘဝမှာအကျိုးအနေနဲ့ကိုပြောပြီးတော့သင်္ချာဖြစ်ပေါ်မှုတွေဝိပါကဝတ္တလို့ခေါ်တယ်
The first round is named as Kilesa Vata, the round of defilement. And the second one is the round of karma. And the third one is named as Vipaka Vata, or the round of result, or the consequence. Among those three types of rounds, the round of defilement means there are three component parts: craving, delusion, and clinging. Being the cause, these three aspects, beings in this world perform various wholesome and unwholesome karmas or acts, and that accumulated karma is called round of karma. Because of the round of karma, or the accumulated various karma forces, people get the result in their next life. And that round is called round of result.
Edi kilesa koသုံးမျိုးတွေကအဝိဇ္ဇာဆိုတာအမှန်မသိရပါဘူးအမှန်မသိဘူးဆိုတော့အလွဲတွေပဲရှောက်ရှောက်ပြီးတော့ပြီးတယ်ပေါ့အဝိဇ္ဇာကိုခေါ်တယ်
Among those three rounds of defilement, the illusion means here not knowing the reality as it is. That means knowing it in wrong way.
Edi အဝိဇ္ဇာကနှစ်မျိုးရှိပါတယ်တစ်အပ္ပတိပါတိအဝိဇ္ဇာနဲ့မိစ္ဆာပฏิပါတိအဝိဇ္ဇာရဲ့လို့ဒီရှိပါတယ်အဲဒီနှစ်မျိုးတွေကပထမမျိုးစားကလုံးလုံးသိမြင်ခြင်းမရှိတာလုံးလုံးမသိမြင်တာအပ္ပတိပါတိအဝိဇ္ဇာခေါ်ပြီးတော့မှားမှားရင်းရင်းသိမြင်တာကမိစ္ဆာပฏิပါတိအဝိဇ္ဇာကိုခေါ်တယ်
And that ignorance also could be divided in two ways. In Pali it is called appatipatti avijja and micchapatipatti avijja. That means the first one has the meaning when that ignorance will be there, people don't know really the reality. So direct unknowing the reality is the appatipatti avijja. And micchapatipatti avijja means when people possess that second type of avijja or the ignorance, they know the knowable things in wrong ways. So they follow in wrong way and they know it in wrong way. And that avidya is called Mithya Patipatti Avidya.
ဒီအဝိဇ္ဇာနှမျိုးလွှမ်းမိုးခံရတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကိုပါဠလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်။အဲဒီပါဠဟာကောင်းကံဆိုးကံတွေနဲ့ရောထွေးပြီးတော့နေတာပါပဲ။သင်သူဟာသူလုပ်ထားတဲ့အမြင်ထဲမှာရောထွေးပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နေတယ်လို့ပေါ့။သို့ဒီပဲအဝိဇ္ဇာလွှမ်းမိုးခံရတဲ့ပါဠဟာလည်းပဲကောင်းကံဆိုးကံတွေ
Samsara says, those people who are overpowered by those two types of ignorances, then they are called the ignorant ones or the foolish. Because of the overwhelming power of those two types of ignorances, the ignorance couldn't see what they should do and what they shouldn't do. So therefore they are ready to do any types of act. And they are turning round and round in this world without stop.
In the lab, Messiha, whom Yarushi, Lolo, Nini Pamankanga Mani Uruwara, Mazuni, and Midabara. So you were with a thing like Punka, Pokuha, seeing the same Hamadi, seeing Tikam Hamadi, seeing Hamadi, seeing the Jojo, the king of Jim Hamadi, Lulu Madi, even married to Uruwara, Sarawa, Isaja, Yatana,
Sadhu says, those people whose eyes are covered with glaucoma, or how to call it? Glaucoma. If the glaucoma is not very thick, then they might see a little bit. If the glaucoma is covering totally on their eyes, then they cannot see anything totally. In the same way, those people who have covered with the ignorance, if the ignorance is little thick, they might be able to see the reality little bit. They might see it with covering, like something is clouded. That means they cannot see the Four Noble Truths, that this is the truth of suffering, this is the cause of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering, and this is the path which leads to the cessation of suffering. They couldn't know these four types of noble truths when they are covered with those two types of illusions.
အခုကြည့်လေသွား6ပါးကဖြစ်တည်နေတဲ့ယုံနဲ့နာနာနဲ့ယုံဒီနှစ်ပါးသာရှိတယ်ဆိုတာစာပေရစီစီကြည့်လို့ရှိရင်အမှန်သင်ရှားပါတယ်လက်တွေ့အားထုတ်လို့တွေ့သွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒါသင်ရှားပါတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့လို့စာပေအနေနဲ့လည်းမသိကြဘူးပြီးပြီမဲ့လို့စာပေလောက်နေတော့ရက်လက်တွေ့ကမရှိဘူးဖြစ်နေတာကတကယ်ယုံနာအစစ်ဒုက္ခသစ္စာထိုက်တဲ့တရားအစစ်တွေပဲဆင်းရဲအမှန်တရားတွေပဲဆိုတာအဲ့လိုရှိတာသူဖြစ်စေတဲ့ပြီးတော့မရှိတော့အဲ့ဒီဒုက္ခသစ္စာကိုအမှန်လည်းမသိဘူးမသိတော့အလွဲချော်ကြီးဖြစ်ကုန်မှာပေါ့ဒုက္ခကိုဆင်းရဲလို့ဒုက္ခကိုဒုက္ခလို့ဆင်းရဲကိုချမ်းသာလို့တယ်ဒါရီကောင်းနေတယ်ဆိုတာယုံနေတယ်ဟုတ်ခုနတင်္ဂလာဖုံးကြီးရဲ့မြေကားဟာအရှင်းလည်းပဲအမှန်မမြင်ဘူးမြင်ရလည်းပဲဝိရဝါဒဆိုတော့အမှန်လည်းမမြင်အလွဲတွေဆောက်ဆောက်နေတယ်အလွဲတွေပဲဆောက်နေတာမြင်ရတာကောင်းကြားတယ်စာကြည့်ရတာကောင်းအကုန်လုံးအကောင်းဆုံးတယ်ရိုးရိုးလုံးလုံးမသိတဲ့အပြင်အလွဲတွေဆောက်ဆောက်ပြီးတော့ပြီးတယ်ရိုးရိုးမသိတာတော့လုံးလုံးမသိတာတော့အိစ္ဆာတိအဝတိဝတိဝိသဆိုပြီးတော့ရောင်းရဆိုင်နေပြီးတော့အိစ္ဆာတိဝတိဝိသဆိုတော့
Sadhu says, although there are some people who study the text and try to get some understanding according to the text. And some people are there who just try to think this way and that way, and they try to understand something. But they are not really doing the practice to see through the experiential knowledge. And such type of people cannot see the reality as they are, realities as they are. So therefore, Sayadaw compared to them with those people who are covered with the glaucoma on their eyes. Sometimes they might see little bit if the glaucoma is not very thick enough. And they are like those people who are just trying to get some understanding through the study and through thinking this way and that way. And other people who don't have really any understanding, they never study this text, they never try to think. So they are really a blind people. So in this way there are two types of people, and those people who are totally blind, they are similar to the first ignorant people who haven't got any kind of understanding, any kind of clarity about the reality. In actual practice, when we are trying to see each and every object clearly with our noting whenever there may arise some objects through the six sense doors, if we see each and every object clearly, then it will become clear to us that there is only the process of mind and matter, or physical and mental phenomenal processes are only there, not more than that. And those mental and physical processes are all the truth of suffering. When they cannot see clearly those mind and matters are the truth of suffering, then whatever they experience through their senses, they think they are all nice one, beautiful one, handsome one. When they see something, at that time also they might have feeling of what a beautiful thing, what a nice thing, what a pleasurable thing. It will give me happiness. So they engage on that thing. Eventually they couldn't get the happiness there. So disappointment will be there. Because they are thinking the truth of suffering as truth of happiness. So therefore, when people may not have any kind of experiential knowledge through their practice, they will take suffering as happiness. That is why it is called the wrong way to follow. And when they follow wrongly, then their ignorance is called mithya-patipatti, following the wrong path through the ignorance. So in that way, when people couldn't have real experiential knowledge about the physical and mental phenomena which arises through the six sense doors, then there arise those two types of ignorance, especially the second one.
Kamago chana ne sesaပြီးတော့ပြောမှာပုံမူပြီးတော့သဘောပေါက်ပြရရှိပါတယ်။ကာမဂုဏ်ဆိုတာညီကောင်းကြားကောင်းနာကောင်းရတာကောအဖြစ်တွေကောင်းခေါ်တဲ့အခုဒီကျုံနေရတဲ့အာယုံ၅ပါးကာမဂုဏ်တရားတွေပါပဲ။အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုကောင်းလေးတွေညီကြနာစာဖြစ်တွေသွားလို့ရှိရင်လူကောင်းတယ်ကြားလို့ကောင်းတယ်နားလို့ကောင်းတယ်စားလို့ကောင်းတယ်ထိတွေ့လို့ကောင်းတယ်ဆိုတာဆန္ဒကြီးဆိုတာကာမဂုဏ်ဆန္ဒခေါ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကတော့လောကလေးဆိုရှိပါတယ်မရှိဘူးဟုတ်ပါဘူးအဲ့ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာအလေးပေးနေတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေကတော့လောကအနေအချင်းချမ်းသာလို့ဆိုရင်လည်းဒီချမ်းသာကဘေးတင်အောင်ကောင်းတဲ့ချမ်းသာဒီချမ်းသာအကြောင်းပြီးတော့ဖြစ်နိုင်တဲ့ဘေးတွေဟာအမြတ်တော့ဖြစ်နေတာဘေးပြန်ကောင်းတဲ့ချမ်းသာအဲ့ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ပေါ်မှာကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာပေါ်မှာဘေးပြန်ကောင်းတဲ့ချမ်းသာပဲလို့လုံးလုံးမသိအဲ့ဒါဝိဇ္ဇာမသိတဲ့အပြင်အဲ့ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာကိုပဲတကယ်ချမ်းသာပဲလို့လူတွေဟာဉာဏ်နဲ့ပဲမြင်ရတာဒါမှဒီချမ်းသာရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒီကြောင်းညာဆန်းနေတဲ့ဒီစားအဲ့မှာအပ္ပတိဝါဒီဝိဇ္ဇာနဲ့ဝိဇ္ဇာဝိဇ္ဇာဒီဝိဇ္ဇာကိုဖြစ်တော့
Sada says, to make it clear, it is necessary to talk about the sensuous pleasures. Then only it will become clear to you. So there are 5 sensuous pleasures arising through the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. When these 5 sensuous pleasures arise as the agreeable object, pleasurable object, joyful object, then people are there to enjoy them. Whenever they see something, if the object is pleasing to them, so they try to get happiness from them. So they were involved in it to get happiness. Sayadaw says, yes, there is happiness. There is enjoyment. There is delightful thing. But that delight is full of danger. Do you agree that? And whenever you listen to something, and if you enjoy it, if you think it is agreeable, pleasing, so you involve in it. And when there will be good smelling things, so you enjoy it, and you will see how a nice smell I am taking, good smell, or it gives me a lot of pleasure, happiness. So you feel happy when you get sweet smelling things. When you have same type of taste which are tasty, full of joys, how do you say?
Juice.
Juice. Full of juice, and you enjoy it. You want to get full happiness tasting the thing. In the same way, the touching. Whenever you are feeling good, enjoying all these five sense pleasures, there is the thought coming non-stop. What a happy things, what a happy things, what a happy things. So you want to gain non-stop happiness from those things. But eventually what do you get? Do you get real satisfaction and happiness from it? You can't say. So that is why Sayadaw says, although they could give some sort of happiness, but it is not everlasting happiness, permanent happiness, real happiness. They are full of dangers. You cannot get rid of danger if you try to get real happiness from those sensuous pleasures. If it is so, then you cannot say those sensuous pleasures are real happiness and they are the reality to give happiness to you. And what happened then? The happiness which is not real, in which there is no reality, if you take them as real and as reality, then you are in wrong position. So you are following the wrong way, and you are thinking wrongly. So therefore, that type of following, ignorance is called the ignorance which arises through wrong thought.
အဲ့ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာပေါ်မှာဒီတရားကောင်းတဲ့ချမ်းသာပေါ်မှာလုံးလုံးအပြစ်မမြင်လာဘူးဒါတော့အကောင်းနေပဲလို့ဒီလိုလွဲမှာဆိုတာသိရတယ်ပေါ့အဲ့ဒီဝိဇ္ဇာကပုံထားတော့ကောင်းတာကြီးတောင်းတာကြီးတောင်းတာကြီးကြားရင်လည်းစားရင်ထိတယ်ကောင်းတဲ့ကောင်းတာတွေလည်းတိုးပြီးတော့ကောင်းတဲ့ကောင်းတာတွေလည်းတောင်းတာခဏဖြစ်ပေါ်လာတောင်းတဲ့တိုင်ရလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီဒီတင်အောင်ကောင်းတဲ့ကာမဂုဏ်အဲ့ဒါဆုတ်ကန်ထားတော့တာသိကောင်းတာပဲဆိုပြီးတော့ခဏလေးပွားရှိပြီးတော့ဒီခါရဲအားကောင်းတာတော့ပြီးတော့ငါးကားပဲမြင်တာလည်းငါးကားပဲခံရတာပဲကြားရနာစားတာထိတာပဲဆိုတာအထိတာပဲဆိုတာငါးလေးတောင်အမြင်နဲ့အဲ့ဒီလိုပဲဆိုရဖြစ်တယ်။တာယာပြီးတော့လည်းဆိုလာမှုဖြစ်တယ်။ပြီးတော့မြင်မှားပြီးတော့လည်းပဲဆိုလာမှုဖြစ်တယ်။ဥပါဒံဖြစ်တယ်။တဏှာနေပြီးဥပါဒံဖြစ်တယ်။
When people try to get happiness through those sensuous pleasures and they cannot see any disadvantages on them, they try to see those things are real happiness-giving things. If they have such notion, they have such view and idea, they never want to go away from those things. They want to enjoy them as much as possible. So therefore, not knowing the five senses are not real pleasurable thing, and not finding any defect on it creates craving. They want to enjoy them to get more and more happiness from them. And when they attach to it, they crave to it, there arises another view, another thought that these things belong to me. I am enjoying these things, and these things are mine. In this way, the wrong thought arises there. When these two defilements are strongly involved with those five sensuous pleasures, you don't want to give up them, you want to keep them all the time. What is that? That is the clinging. So in this way, upadana, clinging starts.
အဲ့ဒီသုံးမျိုးကိုကိလေသာဝတ္တလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒီသုံးမျိုးပဲဒီတစ်စက္ကန့်မှာဒီချိန်ကြာတော့တွေ့ကြည့်ရင်လည်းကျွန်တော်တို့မှာဆိုရင်အချိန်ပေါင်း60တနားရီဆို3600တရက်မှာဆိုရင်24နာရီဆိုတော့အဲ့ချိန်ခြားလာထိုင်ပြီးကျန်တဲ့ချိန်မှာအဲ့ဒါတွေ့ကြည့်တယ်ဝတ္တဆိုတဲ့အတိုင်းတခုပေါ်ဒီကိလေသာကိုကြည့်နေပတ်နေတာ
So when you are involved in this way with these three types of defilement process, you are spinning with those three types of defilements. And therefore, those three types of defilements are called the round of defilements. You are turning again and again, spinning again and again, non-stop turning, non-stop spinning is there. If you don't have any practice on you or in you, you don't realize what is happening in your life. Suppose while you are doing the practice, whenever there arises any kind of one of those objects in your practice, if you note them, if seeing arises, if you note it as seeing, during that moment, those round of defilements couldn't be there. But if you haven't such type of noting in each and every moment, then if one noting takes the time for 1 second, then in 1 minute, how many turnings of defilement, rounds of defilement would be there in your life? 60 times the rounds of defilements are spinning and turning in your life. So therefore, Sayadaw is giving the example how those defilements are turning one after another without having any stop in your life.
အဲဒီပုံမှာပြည့်နေရင်တော့ကောင်းတာတွေတောင်းတာပြီးတော့တာယာဆွဲလန်းမှုချိန်မဆွဲလန်းမှုဒီကိလေသာကိုတုံးကြောင်းကြည့်ပြီးတော့ကောင်းတဲ့ကောင်းတာလေးကိုရရှိဖို့ရအတွက်ကြံစည်ရတာရှိတယ်။ဒါလေးကိုရဖို့ရရှိအောင်ကြိုးစားရမှာတရားသဖြင့်ကြံစည်လို့ရှိရင်တော့တာရှိတဲ့စိတ်ကလေးတွေပေါ့။မူရာလေးတွေဖြစ်တာ။သူ့ဘက်ဒီရှိကိုအပိုင်ရှိလို့တဲ့စိတ်တွေပေါ့အပိစ္ဆာကြီးဖြစ်နေ။ဒါဒီကောင်ကိုအယုံရရှိရေးအတွက်ဇဘာရတွေလည်းဖြစ်နေ။ကာမဂုဏ်ခံစားတာအပြည့်မရှိဘူးဒါတော့ဒီသားတွေမှာလည်းရှိတာပဲစသည်ပေါ့လွယ်ဖားတဲ့အယူဆတွေလည်းဖြစ်နေမနောကံတွေဖြစ်သွားတယ်အဲဒီမှာတစ်ဆင့်ဆက်ပြီးတော့ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာရရှိရေးအတွက်ပြောရမယ်ဆိုရမယ်လောကခံရမယ်ပေါ့လေဝိဇိကံဒီကာကံဒီလည်းမြောက်သွားတယ်စင်ကြယ်တဲ့ကာကံဒီကံမြောက်သွားလို့ရှိရင်တော့တခြင်းနဲ့ကံကြီးပေါ့လေအပြုမှုတွေပေါ့မစင်ကြယ်တဲ့နှလုံးသားနေရာမကျတော့မစင်ကြယ်တဲ့ကိုယ်လုံးအပြုမှုတွေဖြစ်သွားလို့ရှိရင်ကောင်းကံတွေဖြစ်သွားတယ်အဲဒီကံကြီးဖြစ်ရတာခန္ဓာသိတာကိုအကြောင်းပြုဖြစ်ရတာပါပဲ
Sayadaw says, when you are turning round and round because of those three types of defilement, then you want to have more and more enjoyment in those sensuous pleasures. And to get more and more enjoyment in the sensuous pleasures, you need to act to possess them. You need to do something for them, to gain those things in your hand or in your life all the time. So, to possess those things, if you think in right way, then you might have some type of wholesome act in your thinking. If not, then there will be unwholesome act in your thinking. To gain those 5 types of sensuous pleasures. Sometimes you might have to plunder others' property, and you want to take away others' property to possess as your own. So the thought of covetousness could arise in your mind, because I want to enjoy it myself. I don't want to see others enjoying it. So that type of unwholesome thought arises in your mind, and the mental act is there as the covetousness. If you gain them, then you will feel happy. If you can't get them, then there may arise another feeling. I want to kill them. I want to shoot them. I want to break down them. So that type of ill will or ill thought may arise in your mind. So there is the mental act arising through those 3 types of the round of defilement. And not only that, to gain such pleasurable things, sometimes you need to work with speech, sometimes you need to work physically. If you are working lawfully, in legal way, then you might have wholesome physical and verbal act in you. If not, then those acts could be unwholesome, physical and verbal acts. So depending on those 3 types of round of defilements, wholesome and unwholesome acts are accumulated, and then there come the round of karma.
That is the council new you look at seeing our colleague and we have 2 guys to chip it while we were PV Jojo Maho. People say that is nothing. Seeing our colleague can shame what is nothing. Tanda Mabot. The same job is call you so you review ya, but that is it and you human habit. Send it a single part of the water side a same target. Single target, that is target. 3 30 now, $10 the same how $2 the kilo. A people are a Jew, Baka, what are they called? A Baka, what are in kilos are Ganja, Dota, what the enemy about the poor.
Shadow says, whenever you are acting wholesome or unwholesome act, there is strong force in it as the volition. According to that force of volition, your act becomes forceful, powerful, influential. Although there is the process of rising and dissolving, but the influence of the act which you do with forceful volition that leaves some Sada gives an example. as the influential parents leave their influence even after their death, in the same way, the volitional act which you are accumulating leave substantial influence to produce the result according to your act. That is called the round of result. Sayadaw says, now we can see the link, how the rounds are turning and spinning depending each other. So there are the rounds of defilements. Depending on those rounds of defilements, you are acting various types of wholesome and unwholesome acts, and the round of karma is spinning. Because of that round of karma, you will get the result or the consequence from that round of karma. So you have the round of result in your life. When there will be resultant round, then again there arise those round of defilements. If you don't know how to cut off the round of result, so not knowing ignorance is there, and that ignorance is sufficient to produce craving as clinging and wrong view as clinging. When clinging will be there, then again you are acting in the same way, wholesome and unwholesome acts. And again the resultant round of result will be there. So in this way, the round of existence is turning and spinning as the speedy fan is turning and spinning non-stop. So the round of existence also turning and spinning without stop.
ဒီဝတ္တမလည်းပြီးတော့ဖြစ်ရမှာပိဋကဝတ်နဲ့ကာမဝတ်ကတော့မြင့်မောက်ဘဝမှာပေါ့ဒီမနထင်ရှားပါလေတကယ်တွေးစားပြီးတော့သုံးသပ်ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းအလုံးထင်ရှားပါလေဒီတော့ဝိပဿနာဝတ်ကတော့အကျိုး တရားတွေဖြစ်ပြီးတော့လက်ပတ်တယ်ဆိုတာကတော့ဒါတော့မသင်ရှားဘူးနောက်မှဖြစ်ရမယ့်ကိစ္စဆိုတော့လူတွေကမယုံအခုခေတ်မှာမယုံတာဟုတ်ပါဘူးရှေ့ခေတ်တည်းကဘုရားလက်ထက်တော်ကာလလည်းမယုံပါဘူးသူတို့ဖြစ်ပြီးရင်ကမင်းကြီးလက်ထက်ကာလကဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မင်းကြီးကိုယ်လည်းမယုံတော့ရှင်းလာတယ်ကိုအဲ့ဒီအချက်နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့မေးလျှောက်ထားတဲ့အမိကုန်းလေးရှိပါတယ်ဖြေလေးလေးရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုဒီတက်ကိုရှင်းပြပါဦးမယ်
Among those three types of rounds, Sayadaw says, in our present life, we can experience the first two rounds. The round of defilements and the round of karma. We can experience them in this life, and you are experiencing them yourself. Those who have proper thinking and they consider their life, how they are turning, then they can clearly experience those three types of rounds of the round of defilements and the round of karma. But the third one is difficult to see in this present life because it is the result. Result is difficult to see, and the result appears afterwards only, not immediately. So therefore people don't want to believe that there could be some result after the accumulation of karma. Not only the present people or modern people don't believe it, but even at the time of the Buddha, some people didn't believe them. Especially at the time of the King Milinda, the king himself didn't believe about the round of result. So therefore, there are debate between King Milinda and Venerable Elder Nagasena. Sayadaw would like to try to explain you how they were debating about this fact to make you to understand them clearly.
မင်းရဲ့လျှောက်ထားပုံကတော့ဗန္ဒီနဂစေနဣမိနာနာဘရူပိနကမ္မံကတံကုသလံဝအကုသလံဝိတာနိကာမနိတိဋ္ဌံရှင်နာဂတိနာဖျားတယ်ဟောဒီလက်ရှိနာယုတ်တရားစုနဲ့ကံနေဆိုတာပြုထားပါတယ်ကောင်းကံလည်းပြုထားပါတယ်ဆိုးကံလည်းပြုထားပါတယ်နှမျိုးလုံးပြုထားပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီကံတွေဟာဘယ်မှာသွားပြီးတော့စုပေါင်းတီးနေကြပါလို့ဒီလိုမျိုးကုန်တော့ပါတယ်
King Milinda asked to Venerable Nagasena, Venerable Sir, it is obvious that people have mind and matter process as their life, and it is also obvious that because of those two phenomena they are acting various wholesome and unwholesome acts. After having acted those acts, where they go and gather together or stand still? That was the question of King Milinda. Where those acted forces go and stand still or get together,
Chinaganga Chichava, Nubani Ko Maharaja, Dani Kamani, Chaya Anapai Maharaja, Eddie Pilotare Kaniha, Ludwai, a Yipan, the Koko, Kanshina, Sina Shina, Line Java,
and Venerable Elder Nagasena gave reply to the king, O king, those accumulated wholesome and unwholesome various karmas are follow to those people who are acting them, as the shadow follows a being.
Milina Mini at the Saint Elegiana. Sekabana Bani, Danika Mani, that's it. Itawa, Danika Mani, Dikani. Shimhia. Eddie Putare Kaniha, Dinia, Dinia, Nia Tampa Pido. Eddie Kani, Jatan Bala, Jana Jazama.
And again King Milinda asked the counter question, if so, Venerable Sir, then could you show me that those accumulated karmas are living or staying here and here and here separately?
By my senior, Kanakuma Solution, Yuna Solution, Nama Senior, Yuma Senior, Yuna, Yuma, Jana, Senior.
So the meaning is, whether those accumulated karma stand still together with the physical phenomena, or together with the mental phenomena, or together with both of them, where they stand still or where they gather together.
Shinavega, Shiva, Yuva, Nasaka Maharaja, Danika Mani, Dasi, Idawa, Danika Mani, Titan, Maharaja, Eddie Putare Kania, Dinia, Dinia, Nia Tapa Piro. For Piago,
and Venerable Elder Nagasena gave a very simple reply or answer. O king, it couldn't be separately shown that those accumulated karmas are standing here, and here. No such place could be shown.
Maharaja, Ubuma Piaviro, Shiva Pia, Edru Chauta, don't let Kajaro, Chinagatina, Da Belu Tindale, Maharaja, Izra, Sapio.
And then King Milinda requested to Venerable Elder Nagasena, if so, Venerable Sir, then please try to prove it with example. And then Venerable Elder Nagasena asking counter questions to King Milinda, and he tried to give the answer.
ကြောက်ကတော့ရှင်မင်းကြီးတဲ့ကဘာမင်းကြီးပေါ်မှာပေါက်ရောက်နေတဲ့တစ်ပိဒီဆိုတာရှိပါတယ်အမျိုးမျိုးပါပဲတီးတတ်တဲ့တစ်ပိမျိုးပေါ့ဒါမှမဟုတ်သူတို့ကတော့လောလောဆယ်တော့တီးတော့မတီးသေးဘူးတဲ့အဲ့ဒီတစ်ပိကြီးရဲ့အသီးတွေကိုဒီနေရာမှာပဲတီးတာပဲအမြင့်မှာပဲတီးတာပဲရေတောင်းမြင့်မှာပဲတီးတာတင်စီမှာပဲတီးတာပဲခက်မကြီးတွေမှာတီးတာပဲအခက်ကလေးတွေရွက်ကလေးတွေကုလာလေးတွေမှာတီးတာပဲလို့အဲ့ဒီအသီးတွေကိုအရှင်မင်းကြီးပြနိုင်ပါလားတဲ့ဒီလိုမျိုးထုတ်ပါတယ်
How Venerable Elder Nagasena tried to explain King Milinda was, O King, there are many types of trees in this world growing all over the world, and they can bear fruits. What about those things, O King? Could you tell me all those trees, when they produce fruits, in such and such places, the fruits produce, or fruits come out? Could you show that the fruit comes out from the root, from the stem, or from the small branches, or from the big branches, or from the leaf, from the flowers, where those fruits could be seen? Here and here and here, those fruits could be seen. Can you show them? And then the king replied, I cannot do that, I cannot show that. Here and here and here the fruits will come up.
You are a Maharaja, Avuchinaya, Santadia, Sekatani Kamani, that's it, Irawa, Kamani Tikandi, Maharaja, Aluavera Maharaja, Yunga Pissing, Mapia Deroshi, Putare Kani, Dinia Mashiva, Picania, Dinia, Jubi, Dini, you know, Tata, Mapia,
and then Venerable Elder Nagasena answered to the king, if, O king, you cannot show the places here and here and here, those fruits are coming up, then it is also unable to show those the results here and here and here. Those commas could be stand still and gathered together, because the process of mind and matter are running non-stop, turning non-stop, spinning non-stop. So in such case, it is not possible to show that here and here and here those commas are standing still, or they are gathering together.
Yeah, Minia, Kalosi Bandi, Nagasina, Shinagasina, Shimpia, ဖြည့်ကြားချက်တွေပေါ့ဒီမှာပြည့်ညတ်ပါပြီလေဒီလိုပဲအဆုံးသတ်လိုက်ပါတယ်အဲဒီမှာပြထားတဲ့အတိုင်းပေါ့ဒီဝိညာဉ်လည်းပဲအများထင်ရှားတဲ့အတိုင်းပြိစားဖို့နဲ့ကာမဝုကတော့ပေါ့တည့်ရပြနိုင်နေတယ်လို့ဥပါကာကိုတော့မပြနိုင်ဘူးဒါနည်းလေးတော့ပြောနေတာပေါ့
And after that, King Milinda accepted the answer, Venerable Nagasena, it is appropriate, it is suitable, your answer is agreeable. Sada says, so that is the example, and we need to try to see how the answer went and how the king accepted. It is true that we can see the process of round of defilement in our very life, and again we can see how we accumulate various wholesome and unwholesome karmas in our this very life, but it is impossible to see the result of those karma forces.
ဒီပင်လေးမှာတပင်လုံးပြတ်လာပြီးတော့တီးနေတဲ့အစေးရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒီအစေးကနေပြီးတော့အတိစန္ဒဖြစ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီအတိစန္ဒကနေပြီးတော့နောက်မျိုးတွေပေါ့ပင်တွေပေါက်ပွားတယ်အဲ့ဒီအပြင်မှာလည်းပဲနောက်ပေါက်တဲ့အပြင်မှာလည်းပဲအစေးရှိလာပြန်တယ်အဲ့ဒီအစေးကနေပြီးတော့အတိစံဖြစ်လာပြန်တယ်အဲ့ဒီအတိစံကနေပြီးတော့အပင်တိပေါက်လာပြန်အဲ့ဒီဆက်ဆက်ပုံနေနဲ့ဟုတ်လားဣတိတော်ကမ္မဥပကာပေါ့ဒီတိုင်းနဲ့တွေ့ကြည့်ပေါ့ပြီးတော့မြေဥရုရေဥရုလေဥရုပေါ့လေဒီကလာလင်းရောင်နေပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒါတွေကဒီပင်လုံးမှာပြန့်နှံ့နေတဲ့အစေးကိုပွားစီစီတယ်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေဒီဥရုအထောက်ပမရဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီအစေးဟာခက်ချောက်ပါလို့ဒါသိကြတယ်ဒါလိုပဲဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာနေပြီးတော့ကိလေသာဝတ္တိကလာနေတော့အဆိုးစီးတတ်ပြီးဖြစ်နေတာကိုအတိပင်မှာမျိုးပြအောင်ဆိုပြီးတော့ဖြတ်တဲ့နည်းရှိတယ်လို့ဆိုလို့တယ်ဒီကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာတွေကလာပြီးတော့နေလို့ကာမဂုဏ်ချမ်းသာတွေအကြောင်းတည်ပြီးတော့အဆိုးစီးတတ်ပြီးဖြစ်နေတာဟုတ်လို့ဒီအဆိုးစီးတဲ့ကိလေသာတွေကိုဖြတ်တဲ့နည်းလိုအပ်တယ်မဖြတ်ရင်တန်တရားဆောက်ပါပဲဖြတ်နိုင်လို့ရှိရင်တန်တရားပြတ်ပါပဲဒီအဆူစီးတက်ကနေပြီးတော့စပြီးဖြတ်နော်။ဒါတော့ခဏကြာမှအဆူစီးတက်ဖြတ်ပုံလေးဆက်နေပြီးတော့လုပ်ငန်းစဉ်တွေပြောပါမယ်။ဒီနေ့တော့ဒါလောက်ဖြစ်တော့ပါပြီ။
Sada says, in a tree which he has given the example yesterday, there is sap which covers the tree all over, and because of the power of that sap, the tree is growing and bearing fruits, and that fruit can produce other trees, and that tree also could have the same type of sap to keep alive, and again that tree also bears the fruits. So in this way the round of circle of trees will be there one after another, and the sap also protected because of the earth, because of the wind, because of the temperature, and because of the water. All these causes are there to keep the sap growing and developing. In the same way, as the sap, we have the defilements, round of defilements, and because of those defilements, we are acting various karmas, and through that karma there produces results. And again, that result produces defilements, and that defilement produces karmas, and that karma produces results. And those defilements are supported by the five sensuous pleasures. And because of the five sensuous pleasure force, our defilements are increasing and developing. So in this way the round of reverts or round of existences are there. How it could be cut down, Sayadaw would like to explain them tomorrow. The time is over today, so now we stop the discourse here.